You've been eating clean, hitting your workouts, maybe even tossing in some cardio for good measure, and the scale hasn't moved in weeks. Or worse, it's gone up. But before you chuck your scale in the trash or cut your calories down to what a toddler eats, let's get something straight. You didn't trigger some like hidden store fat forever mode. Those don't exist outside TikTok, no matter how convincing the guy at like 4% body fat with a ring light sounds. And it's frustrating. You've been putting in the work, you're following the plan, and the one number you've been told and you know probably matters the most, the scale, refuses to budge and it messes with your head. And then you start asking yourself, oh, is my metabolism broken? Am I in starvation mode? Did I mess something up so badly in my body that it just decided to stop losing fat on me? Fortunately, I can promise you your body still works. And if you follow what I'm about to walk you through over the next 24 hours, you can prove that to yourself. And sadly, while I am able to sometimes pull off some magical things, this isn't a magic trick, not some extreme cleanse or lose 10 pounds in a day nonsense. But by tomorrow morning, you'll either see the scale move or you'll have a clear answer as to why it's not moving. Before I jump into it, professional former fat ass. I do one-on-one coaching, build your full plan for you, full program, custom recipes, two-way communication with me, accountability, checking calls, the whole shebang. First link below, it's like the coolest fucking job on the planet. I've noticed that when people hit a plateau, they almost always jump to the dramatic explanation. My metabolism's shot. It must be my hormones. One guy told me once that he'd burned out his fat burning pathways. To this day, I still don't really know what that means. It kind of sounds like something from a late night infomercial. The truth is, 99% of the time, it's one of three things. You're eating more than you think you are, you're burning fewer calories than you think you are, or you are losing fat, but water retention is just hiding it. And that's it. There's no mystery fourth option, no genetic curse. Unless you've been quietly bulking on DoorDash, your body isn't just gonna randomly decide, yeah, let's just keep this fat as a souvenir, even though we literally need to get rid of it in order to maintain our bodily functions and survive. Now I'm gonna break down exactly how to fix everything all in the next day. So to start, for the next 24 hours, I want you to track everything that passes your lips. And I mean everything. Foods, drinks, condiments, sauces, that little bite of your kid's mac and cheese, the handful of pretzels while you're cooking dinner, even that one square of chocolate you swore didn't count, it counts. Honestly, most people underestimate their calorie intake by a lot. And I'm not even talking lying or like binging in secret. I mean regular, everyday, this is probably fine kind of eating. Tablespoon of olive oil to cook with, that's 120 calories. Drizzle of ranch, that's like another 100, 150. A single protein bar, usually like 200 plus calories. Add all that up and you can kind of start to see how you can easily wipe out a 500 calorie deficit without even realizing it. If your calculated deficit is 500, those little extra like snacky snacks or little things like sauces, condiments, oil that kind of creeps up on you puts you at maintenance, which means no fat loss. This is where the food scale becomes your best friend. Eyeballing it doesn't cut it. I've seen people swear they're having like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and they end up with 5. That's an extra 200 calories every time. Pick one method, weigh your food raw or weigh your food cooked, and then just stick to it. Don't switch back and forth, it'll mess up your numbers. Here's another big one. Log your food before you eat it. That way you can adjust your portions on the spot instead of logging after and realizing, oh shit, I went like 400 calories over. There goes like half my dinner. Or even worse, it was dinner and there goes your deficit for the day. I had a client once who swore they were eating 1,800 calories a day. And so I had them track it together with me for a single day through my app, taking pictures of all their meals, meticulously weighing everything out on a food scale. And the real number ended up being 2,500, 700 calories off. It really just came down to not tracking like the little small things. Once we fixed that, the scale dropped 3 pounds in the next week without touching their workouts. And I'm not saying you have to track like super duper meticulously, like get autistic as fuck about it forever for the rest of your life, but just because the 2 little chocolate mini muffins you ate came from Linda at work doesn't mean that it like magically doesn't count or something. Sometimes it's really not even intentional either. You really can just like eat something or grab like a little handful of pretzels and totally forget to track it. But the whole point of this little 24-hour audit is to see if these little things adding up, these like fucking hidden calories, are the reason why you're stalling. Now this is a little bit rarer, but sometimes you actually are eating the right amount and your movement can quietly drop without you noticing. Maybe it's a busy work week. Maybe you had less shifts that week and you're usually running around all day at work. So you got like a fifth of the steps you usually get. Or maybe just skipping habits you used to have, like going on a little walk after dinner. Again, it can really creep up on you. If you burn fewer calories, your deficit shrinks, and that could be enough to stall fat loss. Even burning 200 to 300 fewer calories a day can honestly make a pretty big difference difference over the course of a week. That's like a couple slices of pizza worth of energy your body's just not using anymore. Add 2,000 to 3,000 steps. That could be a quick walk before work and another after dinner. And then part 2, add 15 to 20 minutes of real cardio. Not like pretty fun walking on sunshine cardio like I'm normally doing, but actual cardio where you're breathing heavier. Usually that'll look like something right around 500 to 600 calories an hour. Also worth noting, keep in mind and pay attention to your NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is just fancy, cool sounding jargon for all the calories you burn by existing and moving around during the day and like slapping your steering wheel to California girls on the way to work. Stand during phone calls, pace during meetings, park further away. These things add up a lot more than you think. Earlier this year, I had a client whose weight stalled for almost a month, and for him, we didn't touch his diet at all. We just brought his step count back up to what it had been before he got super busy. And in literally like 2.5 days, the scale started moving again. Think of it like this: you can have the best, most clean, amazing diet in the world, but if you rot in bed and just scroll on TikTok for literally the entire day and you just don't get up, I don't know, have your mom like bring you a bucket and you shit off the side of your bed, you just do absolutely nothing, I'd go out on a limb and guess you'd probably have to eat like maybe 1,400 or 1,500 calories a day or something to actually consistently lose weight. Step 3, flushing water weight. I think this is honestly one of the most misunderstood parts of fat loss. The idea here is you could be losing fat every week, but the scale might not actually show it and reflect it because you're holding on to water. So your fat loss is looking like this, and maybe your water retention just very unluckily kind of looks like this. Now this can happen for several reasons. Number 1, eating more sodium than usual. Whether it's restaurant food, packaged snacks, maybe you're like me and you just dump salt on all your food, popcorn, whatever it is, especially if it's like dinner the night before a weigh-in, it'll bump some water weight on you. On top of that, stress, inflammation, poor sleep, and even hormonal cycles, especially for like the 3 girls watching this video, water weight changes can play a way bigger role than you think. The good news is that water weight can shift fast, so if you're even a little bit suspicious of it maybe being just water weight holding you back, here's what I want you to do. Drink 3 to 4 liters of water. And yeah, it sounds kind of fucking weird. Why would I drink more water to get rid of the water weight? Let's say you just ate like 5 spoonfuls of salt. Your body wants to stay in homeostasis and maintain a specific electrolyte balance. So you eat all that salt, throw it out of balance. You basically are like dry SpongeBob, and out of nowhere your systems are like, what the hell? We have to keep as much water on us as possible. We're literally about to die. What did this retard just ingest and poison us with? So when you drink a ton of water, the opposite can kind of happen, and your body goes, oh, okay, well, we're actually chilling way too much fucking water. Please piss this out of me. It's a flood zone in here. Keep your sodium moderate. Don't cut it to 0, but avoid super salty meals. Focus on whole, unprocessed, fairly simple foods, literally just for a day, and try your best to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I've dropped like 3 pounds, honestly, within the same day and overnight from just hydrating and skipping super duper salty ass food. And again, it wasn't fat, but mentally on the scale, it kind of looked and felt like fat. Sometimes seeing that number drop is exactly what you need to keep pushing. If you do steps 1 and 2, the diet and exercise side of things, and the scale still doesn't budge, this is probably the culprit. I think where a lot of people go wrong too is they expect fat loss to be like this perfectly smooth, linear process, where the scale drops a little bit every day in like tiny, perfect increments. Trust me, I wish it worked like that, but unfortunately it doesn't. Stock charts don't perfectly trend downwards. There's a little bit of up and down action in there. And even then, oftentimes, it'll look a little bit more like a roller coaster that just hopefully goes down over time. Lots of spikes, dips, and weird flat spots in between. Again, you can see your weight go up like a few pounds overnight from things that have nothing to do with fat gain. Eating more carbs, eating a saltier meal than usual, having a big dinner late at night, or even sometimes just from hitting the gym hard. It'll be especially apparent if your gym schedule's a little bit iffy or not super consistent, but your muscles store water to help repair themselves, and the scale doesn't care that it's not fat. You might just go like 3 or 4 days without hitting a lift, and then you hit a workout, and then you finally get in there, and the next day it's like, holy shit, I just went up 2 pounds. I was on a 700 calorie deficit yesterday. What the hell happened? And that's why you can't freak out over single weigh-ins. The number today is just a snapshot, not the full story. The key is looking at weekly averages. If your weekly average is trending down over time, even slowly, you're making progress, and that's the only thing that matters. The problem is most people don't have the patience to zoom out. They panic at every stall and start making bad decisions. Cutting calories way too low, adding hours of cardio, straight up quitting, or completely changing their plan because because they think it stopped working. And here's the thing, if you slash too hard, you might lose a little extra weight in the short term, sure, but you'll burn out, your workouts will tank, your mood's gonna tank, and the second you kind of like snap out of it and loosen up a little bit, the weight comes right back. No one sticks to miserable for very long. I'd rather have you on a plan that you can live with for months and months than one that's like 2 or 3 times faster, but you can only stick to it for 2 weeks because it's so fucking miserable. And when you do see the scale stall, it does go up, just remember that fat loss isn't supposed to be instant, it's not gonna be perfectly smooth, and it really is a long game. And this 24-hour reset I just walked you through, again, isn't like some magic bullet that'll melt fat instantly. It's just a tool to fix the obvious stuff that might be slowing you down, prove to yourself that like there's nothing wrong with you and your body still works, and most importantly, to give you momentum and confidence without totally overreacting. So let's wrap this up. Your 24-hour stall breaker has 3 parts. Step 1, track everything you eat for a day. No guessing, no, I think it's about this much. Put it on the scale, log it before you eat it. Even if you never track your calories a day in your life again after this, being super meticulous like this for a day can expose the little stuff that might be sneaking in. Step 2, just move more. Add an extra 2,000 to 3,000 steps, tack on 15 to 20 minutes of real cardio, and look for little ways to bump your activity up. Standing instead of sitting, pacing around a bit during phone calls, walking while listening to a podcast instead of playing Fortnite, or get a standing desk, little walking pad, play Fortnite while you walk. These things sound small, but stacked up, they can be hundreds of calories a day. And step 3, flushing out water. Drink 3 to 4 liters of water, you probably need it anyways. Keep your sodium moderate, eat mostly whole foods, and get a full night's sleep. Sometimes the fat loss is there, and the scale just isn't showing it because you're getting thrown off by the water retention. Do all that today, step on the scale tomorrow, and if it's down, great. Now you know exactly what was holding you back. If it's not, but you just keep showing up and doing the right things, the fat's still coming off. The scale is just lagging behind the work you're putting in a bit. Don't treat this like some crash reset you have to do every week either. The most important thing is consistency. Spend most of your time and most of your effort trying to be consistent with your plan. This is just a nice tool. If you're serious about getting the look you're going for once and for all, click on the first link below and we can talk about working together one-on-one and just getting things done right the first time. It took me a lot of time.